Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Sadia Education Wali. I'm student at Rehan College Korangi Campus. Currently, I'm enrolled in Teacher Training Bootcamp 1. So today we will talk with Maya, and today we will discuss about how to improve focus and concentrations. So let's start.
Hey there.
Hello Maya, my name is Sadia.
It's great to meet you, Sadia. How's your morning going so far?
It's not good.
I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want to talk about what's going on?
Anyway, Maya, today we will discuss about how to improve focus and concentrations.
I'm all in for that. Focus can feel like a slippery thing sometimes, especially when you're already having a rough morning. Where do you want to start?
Okay, so my first question is what does it mean to have good focus and concentration, and why are they important?
To me, good focus is basically the ability to pick one thing and actually stay there without your brain deciding to take a little side trip every 5 minutes. Concentration is more like the muscle that keeps you locked in. They're important because they're the difference between spending 3 hours on a task and actually getting it done in one. When you can control your attention, you're not just more productive, you're usually a lot less stressed because you're not constantly fighting your own distractions. Do you feel like your focus is something that fluctuates, or is it more of a constant struggle?
What are the most common reasons people struggle to stay focused?
Usually it's a mix of the obvious stuff and things we don't even notice. The big one is definitely digital noise, notifications, the endless scroll, the feeling that something more urgent is happening in another tab. But then you have the internal stuff like anxiety or just being plain exhausted. When your brain is running a background program of, did I forget to do that one thing? It's nearly impossible to lock into the task in front of you. Then there's the environment. Trying to concentrate in a loud room or a messy space can just drain your mental battery. I've noticed that for a lot of people, it's also about the task itself. If it's too boring or feels overwhelmingly huge, the brain naturally looks for an exit strategy. Does any of that sound like what you're dealing with?
How do smartphones, social media, and constant notification affect our concentration?
It's basically like a constant assault on your attention span. Every notification is a little hit of dopamine that trains your brain to expect a reward every few seconds. Over time, that actually rewires how you process information. You start craving those quick bursts of stimulation, which makes a deep, focused task like reading a book or working on a project feel agonizingly slow and boring. It creates this state of continuous partial attention where you're never fully present in one thing because a part of you is always waiting for the next ping. It's a tough cycle to break because the apps are literally designed to keep you in it.
Okay, so how can setting clear goals help improve focus, and what are some simple daily habits that can boost concentration?
Clear goals act like a north star. They give your brain a reason to ignore the noise because it knows exactly where it's heading. When a task is vague, like work on project, your mind wanders because it doesn't have a finish line. But if the goal is write 3 paragraphs of the introduction, it's a concrete target. It turns the task into a winnable game, which keeps you engaged. For daily habits, I'm a big fan of the single tasking rule. Just consciously deciding to do one thing at a time, even if it's just drinking your coffee without looking at your phone. Another great one is the Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5 minute break. It tricks your brain into focusing because it knows a reward is coming soon. Then there's the brain dump, writing down every random thought or worry that pops up while you're working so you can get it out of your head and deal with it later. Do any of those feel like something you could actually stick to, or do they sound a bit too rigid?
How do sleep, nutrition, and exercise influence our ability to focus?
I'm not entirely sure I follow. Are you talking about some specific exercises for focus or maybe something you're working on with a team right now?
Okay, Maya, in our convo, you will use the word Pomodoro technique. So, what is the Pomodoro technique and how it improve productivity?
The Pomodoro technique is basically a time management system that uses a timer to break your work into chunks. You work for 25 minutes, that's one Pomodoro, and then you take a short 5 minute break. After you've done four of those cycles, you take a longer break, maybe 20 or 30 minutes. It boosts productivity because it creates a sense of urgency, which stops you from procrastinating. And those frequent breaks keep your brain from hitting a wall. It's a lot easier to convince yourself to focus for 25 minutes than to face a whole day of work. Have you ever tried timing your tasks like that before?
How can mindfulness and meditation help improve focus and mental clarity?
Mindfulness is like a gym for your attention span. It's the practice of noticing when your mind has wandered, which it always does, and gently bringing it back with fighting the emotion. When you're fighting a feeling, that struggle takes up a huge amount of mental bandwidth. Once you acknowledge it and accept it, that tension drops, and you can actually use that energy to focus on the task at hand instead of the stress of not being able to focus. Do you think you're more of a push through the stress person, or do you usually stop to check in with yourself?
Okay, so
Like
how
that.
can taking short breaks actually improve concentration and performance, and what role does time management play in maintenance focus throughout the day?
Think of your brain like a battery. It's not designed to run at 100% for 8 hours straight. When you take a short break, you're basically letting your brain recharge and reset. If you just push through, you hit a point of diminishing returns where you're staring at the screen, but nothing is actually clicking. A quick break, especially one where you get away from your desk or look at something far away, prevents that mental fatigue and lets you come back with a fresh perspective. As for time management, it's really the framework that makes those breaks possible. It's not just about squeezing in more work, but about distributing your energy. When you plan your day with intention, you stop reacting to everything as if it's an emergency and start proactively deciding when to be on and when to be off. It keeps you from burning out by noon. Do you usually find yourself working until
Okay,
you're
so
totally
what
exhausted, or do you
are
try to plan in those?
Maya? What are the some brain exercise or activities that help strengthen attention and memory, and how someone stay motivated when work on long-term goals that requires deep focus? Maya,
I'm right here. What's on your mind?
how can someone stay motivated when working on long-term goals that require deep focus?
The trick is to stop looking at the mountain and start looking at your feet. When a goal is huge and far away, your brain can get intimidated and just shut down, which is where that lack of focus usually comes from. You have to break that long term goal into tiny, immediate wins, things you can actually finish
Okay,
today.
Maya, my last
That way,
question
you get
is, my last question is, what advice would you give to someone who wants to improve their focus and concentration in today's that distraction filled world?
my biggest piece of advice is to be kind to yourself when you drift. We're living in an era where everything is designed to steal our attention, so fighting it is an uphill battle. Don't treat a wandering mind like a failure. Treat it like a signal. When you notice you've spent 20 minutes scrolling or staring at a wall, just say, "Oh, I'm distracted," and gently bring yourself back. The magic isn't in never losing focus, it's in how quickly and kindly you return to it. Start small. Protect your morning from your phone. And remember that focus is a muscle you build, not a
Okay,
switch you
okay.
just flip
Thank you
on.
so much, Maya. Thank you, Maya.
You are so welcome. I really enjoyed diving into.
Okay, thank you so much, all of you, for listening me and watching me. Allah Hafiz.